The global economy is a little bit confusing to those of us that are in the cyclical capital goods business. The positives point directly to the developed markets. What's hard for us to handicap is what's happening in the developing markets. Net, you got to look for the developed markets to be your growth, but the developing markets is where the action's going to be. You can't walk away from them, but you can't put all your eggs in that basket today. We believe about 50% of our opportunity is within our control, and about 50% will come from the marketplace. We're going to concentrate on that 50%, and if we do that well, the other 50%, if it comes, will just be an added plus. Doing business overseas makes us smarter. We want to be local where it's necessary and global where it's appropriate. Okay? And, I think people always do business locally. So I want to be French in France. I want to be Norwegian in Norway. And in Beijing, I need to be Chinese. But when I put my cost structure in place, I need to be global. I need to understand the best way to distribute, manufacture, and procure parts in building our equipment that allows me to be competitive locally and globally very efficient. We want to be the disruptors. In a certain sense, we want to change the game. And part of my challenge is to find enough people in our industry, in our company, that can look at a situation and turn it upside down and find opportunities. So I don't see any immediate disruptors in our industry. You really are moving material. It's physics. You're digging a hole. It's hard to invent a new way to dig a hole. But frankly, there are many ways to use technology to get closer to the customer, to be more efficient in your delivery systems, to be more responsive in how you take orders for parts. Those are the areas where we'll use technology to the max. But I also want to use the technology that's between people's ears, because it's the most powerful technology. It's the opportunity to see things that others don't. And if we use the technology that's between our ears, we'll be able to use the digital technology to apply that. It's a challenge, though. When you're in a basic business like ours, it's asking people to stretch in a way that may be uncomfortable. I think that's my job. I think as you go into new markets, you want to find local partners because local partners have local knowledge. A local partner gives you that opportunity, but they also have their own interests, which may cause you not to develop enough of your own internal knowledge. And it's better to have complete ownership, a wholly owned business, than it is to have a partnership if it's a strategically important product line. If it's not, and you want to just participate for the economic value of participation, understand that's what you're going to get. You're going to get economic value. You're not going to be perceived as a local or serious player. Talent diversity is critical for a modern company. The world is getting smaller. The kinds of people that operate our equipment are quite diverse. The kinds of people that buy our equipment are quite diverse. So it's incredibly important that the kinds of people that run the company be diverse. I think this is a journey with a continuous effort that never ends. It starts in the boardroom, and it starts with understanding what diversity really means in the boardroom. In the tougher kind of male-dominated engineering manufacturing area, we have insufficient representation. So we've set specific goals in our company to try and change that mix. We believe that if you measure it, you can manage it. If you can manage it, you can make change. But I don't think it's easy, and I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow. I think the capability I'd like to see all CEOs lean into for tomorrow is entrepreneurship. It's the same thing. Everybody knows it, but not enough people do it. You have to be an entrepreneur. You have to be able to figure out where the opportunities are and not be afraid of the risks. You have to be able to see the landscape differently than the other person sees the landscape. And not just see it differently, but implement change. Because the best strategy poorly executed is still a poor strategy. But a mediocre strategy superbly executed is going to get you good rewards. I wake up in the morning thinking about how I can do something differently. I want every one of our team members to think the same way. But I also want them to concentrate on controls, compliance, and all those basic things, because those will stop the entrepreneur if they're not if they don't pay attention. But if you do those things and don't have the right entrepreneurship, all you'll be doing is watching television as opposed to participating in the game. And I want them participating in the game and changing the outcome.